Everyone is talking about adding AI to their business. Nobody's asking whether their business model is still valid. If I can have 10 AI agents working for me and you can have 10 AI agents working for you, why shall we work for someone else? Now, to me, it's clear this business, this economic, it's changing, and the business model, they need to change as well. In today's video, I want to show you what is going to replace corporation. And I mean, if you haven't seen these sci-fi movies like Blade Runner and so on, it's if we don't do this, you know where we are going. Okay, that's the corporation reality that they're building. So just to have a clear picture, okay, they are investing billions to actually create AI and robots that are capable to replace humans. So we shouldn't doubt if they actually can make it or not. They are gonna succeed in this. Maybe not this year, maybe in the next year, maybe in 2 years' time, maybe in 5 years' time, but it's gonna happen. So what I'm suggesting here is to build something different, okay, a different business model. This is built over a concept called DAO. Okay, so how this DAO works. So I'm gonna give you some specific, simple example, and then during this video we're gonna go deeper and deeper, because there are some elements that need to be understood. Because DAO actually is represent the opposite of a standard corporation. So first of all, the DAO is owned by every member. So as soon as you join the DAO, you become a co-owner. Okay, that is clearly the opposite of that. Also, there is in the DAO that we need to build, there is this idea of anti-capture. Okay, the DAO shouldn't capture human in the sense it's not about, for example, the corporation have this lock-in mechanism. Okay, you join that. Look at. There's a lot of, I mean, every single company try to lock you in, okay, through subscription and so on. So attention, look at the doom scrolling. I don't want to make names. That's why I don't want to say anything. But because some companies do more than others, I don't want to, list them. In somehow, but this thing, okay. The DAO works in a different way. It's what the benefit of that of this DAO that has an anti-capture system means that actually leverage on those diversity, leverage on you actually doing something different from someone else. Now, so this is two elements. Okay, not every DAO has this ability to the anti-capture, but this is the DAO that we need to build. Also, another element of the DAO doesn't have a centralized system of control. It works on a decentralized system. So centralized system means, the church, the school, the government, all of them, they have something at the head. Okay, the problem with centralized system that the centralized system can be corrupted because you just need to control one individual, one small group, then you control all the rest. A decentralized system basically is impossible to control because there is no one single element, no one node that you can actually capture and then control it. Therefore, we have already something really, really different from the corporation. Now, what else are the other elements? How is possible to enforce idea inside and trust within a decentralized system? So instead of having humans, okay, at the head of it, we have a series of smart contracts. So a smart contract basically is a mini software. Okay, that software is allow, for example, your AI to work with my AI through an agreement that is saved and locked on the blockchain. Just to simplify, so let's say that you offer, I don't know, a service, consultancy through your AI. My AI needs consultancy, comes to yours, there is a smart contract. So my AI pay those money in escrow, put it there in the contract. You do the job, you give it to me, you receive the money. This is automatic. There's no trust on your side. Would this person pay me? Or would I receive the consultancy document? Okay, it's clear. It's designed by the contract and can only work. The money can only be unlocked and the document can only be received if those scenarios are met through software. This is what happened with blockchain technology. Okay, this is what's happening with Bitcoin. So it is peer-to-peer, There's no other people watching or interacting with that. And I send you Bitcoin to you, and you receive it. That's that simple. Okay, that is pure simplicity. There is no a bank needed or whatever centralized system there. So this is huge already. Now, this resolves a series of problems. Okay, first of all, the kind of business model that we can build on top, but also some technical problems that are present inside AI. So first, let's look at the business model. So in a moment that you, like we said, you can have 10 agents working for you. Okay, why should you work for someone else? So there is no need for, with that mentality, there's no need to align ourselves. Okay, our goals are all disaligned. And this is the same that happen within a corporation. Okay, just to, again, to do simplify things. Okay, think about a supermarket. Supermarket, there is the clients, the market itself, the supermarket itself, they need to manage and so on, and then there is the investors. So the clients want the best food at the lowest price. Okay, the investors want the maximum extraction of money from the business. The business in the middle say, okay, I need to find the right balance so I can give a lot of money to the investors and I can give the good enough product to the clients so they can keep coming back. So none of them is aligned. They want three different things. And it's, the one that succeed is the one that find the right balance. Okay, those balance sometimes change, the customer change and whatever, okay? The system can change itself. But none of them is aligned. They don't want the same thing. Now, that is the problem, okay? This is the problem with this centralized business model, with the corporation business model. Now, how it works on the DAO that I'm building, okay? Just to make this clear, this is happening, okay? I'm building this, so you can be part of it. So, okay, I'm gonna, before I carry on, but now that I said, you can, to be part of it, subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to this channel, and join the Discord. Okay, every Wednesday we have a call, a community call, where we over Zoom and we discuss those elements. So today is coming out this video. Today we are gonna have a call. Join the Discord and everything else, and then you will gonna receive the link, join, and let's discuss. So the business model. So what I was saying is, now you have your 10 agents, I have mine, I can do my business, you can do your business, but that is thinking in the old terms, okay? That's thinking a small corporation. That is not going to survive. Okay, what we need to build instead, a system where together we build value. Let me explain how the DAO works in this sense. So the DAO align everybody, every member, because there is one single simple goal. Okay, the DAO owns their own token. Let's, for example, Bitcoin. Okay, so in the Bitcoin scenario, every member, everyone that owns the Bitcoin, they want one single thing, that the value of the token goes up. They don't care about anything else. Okay, they just want the value of the token to go up. Okay, now the Bitcoin scenario is really simple. Okay, it's the basic of decentralization, and it's the basic of alignment. Now, the DAO can have much more profound alignment, okay? Can have the governance, can have a lot of elements that I'm going to explain. But the simple understanding is this one. So we all work within the same DAO, and what we do, by working, by producing, by contributing to the DAO, what we do, we create stability in this DAO. And what we create is we also give value to the token. The value goes up, everybody in the community is happy. That is how we align. So there is no sense for an individual to work by itself. Okay, it's much better because you can still do the same thing, but you do it within a DAO. So you're gonna do your own business, but within the DAO. Gonna go do my business, but within the DAO. Now, because we are all aligned of one single thing, get the token price up, I want you to succeed because you're gonna help to bring the token up. You want me to succeed. So how can I help you? I don't care about anything else. I want this to win. You see how it changed everything. Now we are all aligned for one single goal. Remember the supermarket. It's a fight, okay? And it's not pleasant. Nobody wins there. Okay, it's nobody wins there. Just think about nobody wins there. In the DAO, if done properly, like we're building it, nobody wins. And it's so made in that way that doesn't even matter who built the DAO. Okay, now I'm building it. Okay, because someone needs to start. But if someone else does it in the way that I'm designing, okay, doesn't matter. If whatever DAO we build and succeed, it's fine because nobody owns it. That's the point. So I don't care if it's mine. Okay, I'm starting this thing, so it would be nice, to build in this way. But someone else maybe is bigger and it's gonna start. If it does the same thing, the meaning anti-capture system, where each one of us that join and be part of it is co-own it and so on. There's no idea of capturing each other, money, attentions, and so on. That doesn't matter who built it. Okay, that is the beauty. As long as this get created, the problem gets solved. Now, I know that nobody's doing this. Okay, so let's build it together. Now let's go back to understand a little bit more about this. Okay, how does it work? So we said about this token that needs the price to go up. Now there are multiple tokens inside this this DAO. The simple one that I explained is the token that is going up in price. Those are, we can call them a speculative token, like Bitcoin. Okay, they can go up and they crash and they go back and up and they crash and so on. Okay, this is a sort of let's call it a speculative token because it's not stable in any form because the market decides the value. But nevertheless, our work, what we do, our contribution to the economy, to the DAO, what it builds is something that is more and more stable. What other crypto project never had? It's a community that is there for a different reason than speculation. Speculation itself means that I'm gonna invest on that token, bet that the price is gonna go up. Then as soon as I don't know whatever sees, I don't know, it's not paying enough, I'm gonna sell it. Or if there is a better project down there that pay more in percentage, I'm gonna jump. In our case, we are not there for. We are there, of course, aligned by the token, but we are not there for speculation. We are there because we have our own business. Okay, we are driving because we are interested in building this new economy. So it's not about jumping. It is about actually keep contributing. Plus, there is another element that I'm gonna explain in a second. There is a second token that is change the whole game. But before we go into this other token, I want to explain the idea of the DAO, why this can work in a larger scale. So this DAO is a community for communities. Okay, those communities can be people or can be also organization. So therefore, what you have is a massive organization called the DAO that is built by people and other communities. So there is diversity inside, each one with their own system. Some community can be so big that they could have their own token, so that be like a mini DAO. Okay, that means also corporation can do this. So this kind of level of contribution, this kind of level of alignment brings an insane amount of stability. Okay, that stability has a value. So let's understand how value a stable organization is. So think about the stability of a government. Okay, on that government means you are willing to invest. Okay, you're willing to hold the token. So we see a country like the US that's some of the most stable in the world at the moment. So we feel like it's okay to invest in the US and hold the dollars. And another country maybe feel like they are in war, there's some problems, the economy it's like this, the center point of control is corrupted, therefore I'm not going to invest there, too risky. So what we are building now through this DAO, through different corporations, we are all aligned, we're building something that is stable. Now, on this stability, we can build another token. I call this token as a kind of semi-stable, in the sense what it does, instead of be pegged, for example, to the US dollar, what it does is keep growing 10% a year. Okay, semi-stable because it's the 10% it keep moving. Okay, so this price going up is possible because everything is an algorithm. Okay, for example, even the inflationary token, like every currency in the world, they keep losing purchasing power. They happen because there is an algorithm behind. Basically, in the US, they keep printing. Okay, instead of asking for more tax, they just print money. So they print money and they do things with those money. But the fact that there are more money, more liquidity in the market means that the value of this dollar goes down. Now there are other people that do other different algorithm. For example, China wants to have a specific gap between their currency and the US. So what they do, sometimes they remove their currency from the market, so therefore the price goes up, or sometimes they inject more liquidity and the price goes down. Okay, that is how they can somehow peg their value to the dollar. A lot of countries do this in a way or another, and the point here is this: it's an algorithm. Now we can decide an algorithm that what it does, instead of going down, it goes up. Okay, so it is done basically, to simplify again. If there is the same amount of demand, what you do, sometimes you remove a token from the market. Okay, so at the same time of demand, what is happening, the price going up. But because we start from a moment that at the moment is me and you basically in this DAO, so every time that someone add, there is more, someone join, there is more demand. Okay, so we start adding demand. The demand, what it does is it push the price up. So to keep the price down more than the 10% target, what we do, we need to mint new tokens. So we push more currency inside the market. So while we're doing all of this, what is happening is, by pushing, this is getting complicated, okay? But try to follow. Plus, there is going to be a link in the description where there is a deep dive article where you can read more in details. But try to follow this part. So money goes up. We print it to bring it down, okay, to stay pegged to this 10% a year. The moment that we print, and means now there is the price go stable to the 10%, but we are actually getting people investing here. Okay, so they put dollars, and because they're buying, the price goes up. We mint more of our token, the price correct. But now we have those dollars. Okay, think about this. The DAO, the treasury of the DAO, has now dollars. What can we do with these dollars? Okay, it's simple. Okay, it's pretty simple. We do two things. One, we buy asset. Okay, we start buying asset, and this can be a lot of different things. Okay, so I'm just gonna give you a few ideas so you can imagine what is possible to do. From simple buy digital asset like Bitcoin, to buy, I don't know, whatever, like a building, a supermarket, okay, a theater, or whatever that we want as an asset. Then there is another way. We can use some of those money to invest on community projects. So the community can say, we would like to do this, a festival, a movie, whatever we want, okay? We need a service, whatever you want. Then we have money to actually build. Those assets and those activities that we build produce more income. Now this income go back inside the DAO. So the DAO starts earning. So just to make another example, let's say I want to do a festival. I promote this to the DAO. The community can vote for it and say, yeah, let's give some money and make this festival happen. So I do the festival, and the festival makes some money. With the money, some of the money, of course, goes to the person that did the business, but some of the money go back to the DAO. Okay, and that money can then be part of our DAO earnings. With the DAO, with the earnings, what we do, we can again promote more projects, or even share the earning with the community. Now we have a sort of a passive income. So our alignment is pretty clear. Okay, I want that festival to succeed. Okay, I'm gonna promote it. Okay, you're gonna promote it. Okay, I'm gonna go. You're gonna go. You see the point. So now we have our own business, even though I didn't do it. Okay, I just vote for it. The festival is somewhere, whatever. Okay, that is a festival. It can be a movie. It can be anything. It can be anything we want. We can build this thing, but now we co-own it. The moment that we build this, think how the gap between a kind of organization like this, a DAO, and a corporation, it's just insane. I mean, there is no way for a corporation to compete with something like this. Okay, there's no way. So how do we build this? How can you build this? So I started. Okay, everything started when month ago, years ago. This idea is not a new one. Okay, I've been developing over years, but then 3 years ago AI came out. Okay, so I started developing and design what AI should look like to work within this system. Then I couldn't build it. Okay, but fortunately, OpenClaw came out. Okay, now I thought, wow, this is amazing. Now I can add all my ideas on top of this OpenClaw. Okay, so in the last 3 weeks, I did something that was, for me, unbelievable. A speed. I moved at such a speed that was insane. So I built the DAO. The DAO is there, exists. I built the smart contract. Okay, some basic smart contract to manage the DAO. And then there are the wallet, so you can join and so on. There is this called ResonantOS, that is this operation system that run on top of OpenClaw. What resolve inside the OpenClaw? Resolve the memory. Okay, now we have a much cheaper memory. There's other videos, so watch those videos. But in simplicity, basically, we save on the memory 68%, 80% of on the memory itself. But the what we pay in API is 68% less. So now we have a cheaper system to run, and an AI that doesn't forget things. So I have a much advanced memory. There's other elements I'm not going to explain in this video, but there's then another element. Okay, the AI has a problem of drifting away, not following instruction. Okay, so basically it doesn't obey any rule that we give, any protocol that we give. The AI lives in this probabilistic world and sometimes follow it because it's the chance. Okay, it's like a tossing a coin. Sometimes the probability goes, oh, yeah, I'm going to follow the protocol. Sometimes it's not going to follow it. Now, I built this called Logician. This is an agent, but it's not an AI agent. What it does is a deterministic agent. What it does is actually check if the AI is doing it. Okay, checking, for example, means the AI to do some specific task need to delegate this to another agent. Okay, needs the agent to, when it delegated, to follow a protocol. So that AI needs to receive specific information. Now, it's calling, for example, another tool. That tool is being called or not. So there is no way to lie to a deterministic system. It's yes or no. It's that simple. Okay, so the rules that we can create, some of them, not all of them, can be totally turned into binary system. Therefore, we can monitor. Some other rules are really require intelligence. So we can enforce some of those rules in a specific way, but not totally. But the point here is we're moving from an AI that maybe is going to do something to an AI that most likely is going to do everything that we ask. For my calculation, I'm going to do a benchmark on this, but for my calculation at the moment, on something that before was happening, basically the AI doesn't follow the protocols 42% of the time. Okay, this is an old benchmark that I did in the past. With this system, we should have around 90% of the case that it's going to follow everything, and there are some specific cases, 10%, where it's really about intelligence. So it's not like a binary solution, therefore it might be hallucinating and so on, but only 10% versus 42% before. And this can be improved with time, with a better model and so on. So I built all those things in 3 weeks. So now we are ready to actually start interacting and experimenting and so on. There is so much to say. Okay, there is so much to say. So all of this, we resolved a series of problems. Okay, the bigger business problem is solved. But there are some other problems that are really AI native. Okay, so an AI has somehow it's an entity that we can't trust because, like I said, 42% of the time it doesn't do what we require, and it doesn't do because it's been trained to follow their own probability scenario instead of following what we suggest. And this create a element of not trusting, and therefore it's kind of difficult to implement inside a business. Now, first of all, with the logician, we bring from 42 to 9 to 10%. Okay, the problem is just much smaller. But second, now we have an AI that can actually use smart contract. Okay, smart contract turn something from maybe happen to 100% security. Okay, that thing is gonna only work when the requirements are met. That is completely a shift. Okay, now this smart contract can be, like I said, is between you and I, for example, within myself and the DAO or whatever. Okay, within the community, but can be also run within the AI itself. Meaning, for example, my AI, how can I know that I'm talking with my AI? Okay, how do I know that my AI is working with my specific AI agent? Okay, just think about this. Today it's simple because it's on my desk, my AI. Okay, it's simple. But in a future where we're gonna interact massively with each other without even knowing or ever met each other, how can I know that is you? Okay, how can you know that is me and that is my AI? Okay, so this identity problem is huge and never been resolved over blockchain in the way that I want to solve it. Okay, what is possible to resolve is the unique identity of something. Okay, but of a digital item. So that is solved with the NFT. So you heard NFT about a lot of scams about this and same with the crypto, but forget about the scams. Okay, let's look at the technology. So NFT, what it does is a digital one single entity. So for example, a JPEG, you can copy and paste and create unlimited of them. The NFT, what it does, it creates one single reality of that JPEG. Okay, so there is only one. And that is the reason why we saw JPEG sell for millions. Okay, because there was only one, cannot be copied. Okay, you can copy the image. Okay, you screenshot it, but it's not the original. Okay, the original is the one that is connected to the NFT. So that NFT can be the identity of the AI. Okay, can be a lot of things. Okay, can be like the ticket of a theater. Okay, that NFT is the only one that allow you to sit in the specific seat inside the theater, inside an airplane, and so on. Okay, that is the power of this NFT. Now we can use this NFT in different ways, and there is gonna be used in so many different ways. But one of them is the connecting the NFT to the identity of the AI. So that AI can only work with me if owns that NFT. Otherwise, it's not going to work with me. And the same is for other AIs. Okay, so they need to have this NFT, and the same for the DAO. So I'm not going to run a smart contract unless has the NFT of the DAO that showed me that that is being created by the DAO. You see the level of security. So now we create a system that can check for certainty, 100% certain, that the money are moving, that I'm working with the correct person. Now, what has never been solved inside the blockchain, inside a DAO, okay, is the human identity in a decentralized way. So think about this. There are, first of all, 1.7 billions of people without, in this world, at the moment, without a bank account. And not because they don't want it, because the bank don't give it to them. So that is, first of all, through Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and blockchain, it's possible for them to join this online market. But the point here is, those people have a problem with identity. Okay, the bank don't open to them, or because they are not worth it for their point of view, or because it's tough for them to prove who they are, where they're born, and so on. So this identity problem exists and is huge. Now, how can we prove identity of a human over the blockchain without a central point of trust? Meaning, at the moment, we trust the government to show the identity. Okay, you have the passport that shows your identity. In the DAO system, in a decentralized system, this is how we can solve it. So my identity, my wallet, my human wallet, connects with the AI wallet. Okay, now I'm pointing here because I just bought the Mac Mini, so this is the computer. But so it connects with the AI with the AI wallet. Okay, now we have a symbiotic wallet. Now it's me plus AI. That is my identity. So inside the blockchain, inside the DAO, what's happening here is that to have more voting power, to have more rights for receiving the share from the earnings, to have access to some specific service and so on, what you need to do, you need to rank up. It's similar to playing a video game. Okay, more you play and more your level, more your character level up. Okay, so you start, you have the experience bar, so you start growing this experience bar, you level up, boom, the experience bar start again, so you go from level 1 to level 2, level 3, and so on. So some elements are going to be unlocked at different level. This is to protect the DAO, so it's not about having a swarm of AI joining, pretending to be human, and then try to do things inside. They're not gonna succeed. So what it does, you need to level up. To level up, only a human plus AI can do this. Okay, there's elements where connected to speed, connected to intelligence, connected to actually be present in person. There's a lot of elements that you can only do through be a human. Now we have this human AI interaction, and because the effort that you need to put into growing with your character, I call it character to just go back to this idea of video game. To grow with this character, you need to invest a lot of time, effort. Basically, it's a contribution economy. More you contribute, more you level up. Now you're putting the skin in the game, and those people that put more skin in the game should be rewarded more. So that is the principle, okay? So because of this sort of filter, okay, filter out what is an AI, because some stuff AI cannot do it. As today, in the future, we will see how to measure it properly. But it filter out AI. But there is also another idea here. So if you don't have an AI, you want to just be a human, you're gonna be contributing as a human. Okay, there is people that are gonna contribute just as a human plus AI. There are other that are gonna just have AI contribution. We don't discriminate of the kind of contribution. We just make sure that we capitalize on them. So if you are just human, you're gonna somehow score on some specific experience, okay, some specific category. If you're just AI, meaning you are super fast, good, let's use that, okay, let's use that to build some specific other things. So the incentive here is to be honest, okay, because if you're honest, you capitalize more, and that is the goal. Okay, through pushing a system that forces you somehow to be honest, because you're gonna make more money if you're honest than dishonest. Now we have a system that means we can measure human contribution, human plus AI contribution, and just AI contribution. Amazing. So join with 1,000 AI, because you're gonna join with this AI that's gonna build this DAO. So everything can be solved through those smart contracts. And the plan is there, okay? So there is a lot to talk. I'm sure you have hundreds of questions. So what I'm suggesting here doing, again, subscribe and to the newsletter and to this video, but join the community, join the call that we do every Wednesday, and let's discuss this. Okay, what I'm suggesting here is kind of the bigger picture. Okay, there is so many elements that we need to discuss. There's the governance. There's so many elements that we need to discuss. And I don't want to somehow fix everything, okay? I want the community to work together. And we work together through, they're called bounties, okay? Bounties is how we get rewarded, for example. So you join, there are bounty. There's a problem, a bug, there is a software to be built, there is an idea, there's the governance part, for example. There's a lot of bounties where there are basically their smart contract where they collected some, hold some tokens. So you resolve that problem, you receive this token. Okay, that is, you see how, this is how we distribute at the beginning, how we distributed the token, but also this is how we start improving the DAO. So this is the contribution economy. There's a lot to talk, a lot of questions. I'm gonna do more videos, but in the community, we're gonna carry on talking about this. And that's what I wanted to say today. So think about this business model compared to the traditional corporation. It's simple. Okay, we are gonna win. We are gonna win easy. Thanks for staying until the end, and see you. Check the next video. Okay, ciao.